Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. I know you hear me say this all the time. I'm so excited about this particular episode, but I am so excited about this particular episode. Oh my goodness. I want to tell you, this is purely a self-indulgent episode. Yes, I hope you get something out of this, but I got to tell you, I just wanted to record this episode so much. I'm going to be talking about my favorite band of all time, Stryper. I've got the hat. I've got the new shirt from the new album, When We Were Kings. I've got the autographed pick by guitarist Oz Fox around my neck. And I even changed one of my pipes, a Missouri Meerschaum hardwood, and I turned it into my own Stryper pipe. Yes, that's right, boys and girls. The yellow and black attack is back. What in the world am I talking about? As always, let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. Of course, I'm talking about rock and roll, and for the rock and roll episode, we've got to have the Back in Black blend from David Meese that he sent me. Some Captain Black Original, I think. Captain Black Royal, Captain Black Gold, and some Backwoods Original. So, what is the yellow and black all about? I've talked about Stryper on this channel before, but I want to get into a couple of aspects of Stryper today, including the new album. Stryper started back in 1983. They've been going at this for 40 years now. And I remember getting into them right in the beginning, or very close to it. Maybe it was about 85, 86 maybe for me, but very, very close to the beginning. And I loved them. In fact, it was my Sunday school teacher at the time who actually turned me on to them. They're a Christian metal band. And what does that mean? They are heavy metal, squarely in the 80s style, somewhat glam. You could say glam, but very much Bon Jovi. In fact, they when they were all getting started, they played together, even with Metallica. Now, they're not really Metallica in sound. Well, you want to think about Bon Jovi, think about White Lion, Cinderella, Whitesnake, Motley Crue, Judas Priest. These kinds of bands are all in that kind of genre together. And truly, in the Christian realm, and certainly back then, you really had Stryper. And then Bloodgood, and Petra had been going on before that, and Petra was really more hard rock after they coming out of the 70s, a very 70s rock sound, but not the metal sound that Stryper and Bloodgood and then so many others after that had. So I've been crazy go nuts for Stryper for 40 years, basically. I've seen them in concert many times. Back in the day, the classic heyday of the 80s, seen them in the 2000s, and as of the recording of this video, just saw them a couple of weeks ago on their 40th anniversary tour, and oh my goodness, friends, it was the most amazing. It was a 2-hour concert, had an intermission, played, I think, 21 songs, something from every studio album that they'd released. And these guys are amazing, just fabulous musicians. And the lyrical content is in your face. It's pro Jesus. I mean, you got to know that going in if you're going to listen to a Stryper. Let's go ahead and talk about this show and what they're like live. These guys are now, and let's see here, they're 60, right around 60. So not as old as some guys. Deep Purple, they're up in their upper 70s, for example. But still, middle age, a little past middle age. The original band -1. The bass player is no longer with them. They've gone through a couple different bass players over time, gone back to the original guy. But still, the founding guitarist, Michael Sweet, his brother Robert Sweet on drums, and also founding guitarist Oz Fox, who is the pick that I've got on here in my necklace, signed by Oz Fox. They all started the band, and the new bassist, the last couple albums, he's been with them. A guy named Perry Richardson, who was with the band Firehouse before that. These guys put on a magnificent show. They did back in the 80s. It was big hair, long hair, big teased up Aquanet like crazy, just like all the other bands. Great light show. I remember the In God We Trust tour, which is around 88, I believe. And oh my gosh, big lit cross that would come down out of the ceiling of the arena. And they guys were playing arenas. They were MTV darlings, had bunches of MTV hits, platinum selling albums. I mean, these guys were good. And where a lot of the bands of the 80s are no longer recording, or some are, but really not to that great success, Stryper has continued. They had a little hiatus after 91. Did a 7-week tour, which they put out a live album in 2003, called 7 Weeks Live in America. Fantastic live album, incredible quality on the sound there. And then, as the 2000s rolled on, man, they got back together and they have come back in force. A lot of people would say that the catalog in the 2000s is every bit as good, maybe even better, than the stuff in the 80s. Just incredibly hard driving. Michael Sweet's really doing all the producing now as well. And the sound is 21st century sound, incredible sound. So these guys on stage, man, this 40th anniversary tour, it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen of any artist, and certainly of Stryper, and that's including the big shows of the 80s. Absolutely great lights, great visuals in the videos, and the guys are just still putting it out. My two friends of mine and my son, the four of us got to go, and we were third row, dead center. It was absolutely phenomenal. 2 hours or so. And with any band, you kind of go in and out of them, and I'll give them a big Stryper kick, and then I'm listening to Deep Purple, and I'm listening to 70s or other stuff. But man, this show put me back in a Stryper mood like nobody's business. Now, I want to show you the new album, and I got this on digital download the day it came out. Got it on CD, and then I want to purchase it on vinyl as well. I'm going to talk about why I did that. But first of all, let's see if we can just get this in here. I'm going to pull back a little bit. Fabulous, fabulous album cover titled When We Were Kings. When We Were Kings. Gorgeous, gorgeous album cover. And of course, a lot of us, that's what we liked about albums back in the day, was a really great album art. This is a gatefold, so we open it up, and what do we have in here? We got a picture of, let's see here, let's look at this first. So we got the lyrics, and then we've got the band. So we've got, kind of starting over here, we got Oz, let's see, get my finger going this way. We got Oz Fox, guitarist. We got Perry Richardson on bass, Michael Sweet, lead vocals and guitar, and then his brother, Robert Sweet, on drums. And one of the reasons I really, really wanted this was because of the color of the vinyl. Wait until you see this. This is absolutely amazing. They're calling it Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue. And let's just look at this gorgeous. Look at this gorgeous blue vinyl. Just absolutely stunning color. And I'm a sucker for blue. Blue is probably my favorite color. So just an absolute sucker for that. Had to get this. Now, real quick, why so many formats? Well, to be honest, I listen to most of this stuff digitally. In a car, headphones at home, whatever. I've collected all of the CDs, so I had to get it for the CD just for the sake of the collection. I do not have all of their vinyl. I've debated over the years, should I go back and try to get all of it? I've got a number of albums. My son bought me one of their albums. A friend of mine who actually lives out in Las Vegas, he found one for me and sent it to me. Well, I got to thinking about this. I really wanted it for that gorgeous Tiffany blue color. But also I thought, you know what? I want to support the band. And rather than thinking about, oh, gee, I paid X amount of dollars for this album, it's more like, you know what? I supported the band and I got the album. That's how I think of it, because I really do think so much of musicians, and we all know it's a tough time for musicians. I mean, God, be honest, unless you're Taylor Swift or Beyonce, it's a tough time. And you're not getting it off of streams. You're certainly not getting paid that way. So I always encourage people to go out and buy the music in whatever format. Buy the download, buy the physical. But do that to support the artist. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, I'm supporting the artist and I'm getting an album. So that's how I went at it. So I'll just read things about the album. I did have to make some notes. It's only been out, I don't know, 3-4 weeks now. Oh, heavens no, not even that long, maybe 2-3 weeks. And I've been listening to it nonstop. This album is fantastic. It is a throwback to the 80s. If you like that kind of music, again, you know, the Bon Jovi, Poison, Def Leppard, Cinderella, that kind of stuff. You like that kind of music, man, you're going to dig this new album. Opening track, End of Days, is very classic Stryper sound. Very hard hitting. Great lyrics. All their lyrics are wonderful. A lot of times very straight biblical. Other times certainly just good uplifting kind of lyrics. I love that song. Second song probably catches my attention a little bit more. It's called Unforgivable. Has a darker opening. And we're not talking doom metal here. We're not talking death metal sort of sound, but definitely a darker ending, opening. Very Hendrix-esque, actually. To me, I hear a little bit of Foxy Lady in the opening there. Soaring vocals from Michael Sweet. Wonderful solo. And if you're the kind of person who likes that kind of music, you're probably a person who really likes a good guitar solo. Well, man, let me tell you, there are guitar solos aplenty on this album. Every song has one or two guitar solos that are just absolutely blistering and phenomenal, fast and vibrant. Third track on there is my favorite. It's the title track, When We Were Kings. Heavy opening. It's the ultimate throwback lyric. When we were kings of our own time, we started young and hoped to climb. Seasons changed, and so did we. And, you know, that just takes you back, and the sound alone. We've got a great video for it. Very MTV-esque style video. A lot of old concert footage from back in the day, and still images mixed in and everything. Just wonderful. Takes you back to the heyday of MTV and bands like we're talking about. Absolutely love it. Next track is Betrayed by Love. Rather ethereal opening. Then widens into metal. And again, we're talking melodic metal here. That gets a little bit dark again. But I would still say dark 80s metal. Yet it's a ballad, and it's very reminiscent to me of some stuff from Aerosmith, especially around the Permanent Vacation album, if you remember that one. I remember the song Angel that Aerosmith did off of that album. That's the album that had Dude Looks Like a Lady on it. And so that kind of sound of an Aerosmith sort of ballad. The next one up had a video for this one as well called Love's Symphony. Pure melodic metal. Pure melodic metal. Soaring vocals again coming from Michael Sweet. Another one of my absolute favorites is Trinity. I love a song that is in your face when it comes to biblical teaching or theology. And Trinity is that. Not sure when you last heard a metal song about the Trinity, but this one does it. It is absolutely phenomenal. A good hard opening. Very reminiscent to me of one of their recent albums, 2 albums back. The last album was called The Final Battle, and the one before that was called Even the Devil Believes. And Trinity, it fits right into the Even the Devil Believes part of the catalog in my mind. Rhyme of Time is up next. Again, classic Stryper sound. If you know Stryper, very, very classic Stryper sound there. Raptured is up next. And you go, oh, well, that's going to be one of these biblical songs. Not really. It's a love song. It's a straight-up love song. So I'm sure, I don't think I've heard him speak to it, but I'm sure it's to Michael Sweet's wife. His first wife died of cancer some years ago, the mother of his 2 children, and then he has since remarried. And his second wife is really the manager of the band, and he's deeply in love with her. And boy, this song is just wonderful. And he talks about, when you go away, I still love you, but man, when you come back, I am just raptured by your love. And so a great love song, wonderful. Grateful is up next. Wonderful lyric. The title says it all about being grateful, and is very pure melodic metal there. And then the last 2 tracks are, again, very hard driving. You've got Divided by Design. And a note I made myself is it's very much in the flow of the recent Stryper albums, the stuff in the 2000s. No More Hell to Pay. Fallen. Even the Devil Believes, and so forth. Albums like this. Great harmonies, some really great harmonies with the band there. And then the last track, Imperfect World, a great drum opening from Robert Sweet. So, Ren, I got to tell you, we have an expression here in the States, or at least maybe in the southern United States, but man, I am in hog heaven, okay? I'm in hog heaven. Smoking my new Stryper pipe. Got my gorgeous Tiffany blue vinyl. Got this handsome album cover. Bring that back a little bit again. Just saw these guys live in concert, and man, I'm just going crazy. So talk to us a little bit. I want to talk about 2 specific things. I got 2 specific questions for you. Do you know Stryper? Do you like Stryper? Can you not stand Stryper? What do you know about Stryper at all? I'd love to hear some Stryper stories. So please, if you're a Stryper fan, I'd love to hear some of that. And then I'd also like to hear about specifically about 80s music, 80s metal. Again, some of that melodic stuff, the Bon Jovi, Poison, White Lion, White Snake, all that kind of stuff. If you like that kind of music, I would love to hear about that. Folks, I don't know. When I get done with this video, I may just have to go listen to this album. As Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.